Your mouth carries creative power. I don't think we fully understand that sometimes we use words so loosely, so casually, as if they don't carry weight, as if they don't shape anything. But words are not just sounds, not just letters strung together. They are forces. They move into the atmosphere, they arrange environments, they shift outcomes. Every time you open your mouth, you are either building or you are tearing down. You are either planting seeds of life or you are scattering seeds of death. And here is the truth. Your life is a reflection of the words you have consistently spoken over yourself. Think about it. Everything you see right now in the world around you started with words. A house didn't just appear. It began with someone speaking about an idea, laying out a plan. A business didn't just rise up. It started when someone dared to say out loud, I'm going to build this, I'm going to launch this, I'm going to try this. Even relationships are nurtured or destroyed by words. I love you can heal a wound. I hate you can shatter a soul. Words are not lightweight things. They are heavy. They carry power. And the most dangerous words are not the ones other people speak about you. The most dangerous words are the ones you keep speaking about yourself. Too many of us walk around repeating curses over our own lives without even realizing it. We say, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I'll never get ahead. Nothing ever works out for me. And those words become chains. Chains on your creativity, chains on your confidence, chains on your future. You're locking yourself in prisons you were never meant to live in, all because your tongue keeps signing the contract for your bondage. If you keep saying you're not enough, you'll start believing you're not enough. If you keep saying you're always broke, you'll start living as if abundance is impossible. If you keep saying nobody cares about you, you'll walk into every room expecting rejection. But here's the other side. The same power that curses can also bless. The same mouth that says, I can't, can say, I can. The same voice that says, I'm not enough, can say, I am more than enough. The same lips that say, I'm broken, can say, I am healed. And the moment you shift your words, you start shifting your atmosphere. You start pulling new opportunities towards you because your words set the stage for your life. When you say, I am blessed, you're not describing what you see. You're calling into existence what is already waiting for you. When you say, I am favored, you are aligning yourself with doors that haven't even opened yet. You've got to stop waiting for other people to speak it for you. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you're valuable, that you're gifted, that you're worthy. That's too much power to give to another person. If you live by their praise, you'll die by their silence. If you depend on their affirmation, you'll collapse under their criticism. No. You've got to open your own mouth and speak blessing upon yourself. You've got to be your own prophet. You've got to declare into your own atmosphere, why I'm going higher. I am stepping into more. I am favored. I am chosen. I am equipped for this season. Don't underestimate what happens when you say it out loud. Thoughts are powerful, but words are the release. Words are the ignition. You can think about fire all day long, but until you strike the match, nothing burns. You can think about success. You can dream about purpose. You can imagine breakthrough, but until you open your mouth and declare it, nothing ignites. Your words are the spark that sets your future ablaze. And I know sometimes it feels strange. Sometimes it feels awkward. Sometimes it even feels like you're lying to yourself. You look at your life and it doesn't match what you're saying. But that's the point. You don't speak what you see, you speak what you believe. You don't declare what's happening, you declare what's coming. You don't announce your weakness, you announce your strength. That's how you shift from where you are to where you're supposed to be, because your words are not just reflecting your life, they are directing your life. So open your mouth and take authority. Stop letting your tongue wander carelessly. Stop giving your words to doubt, to fear, to negativity. Stop being the echo of your struggles. Instead, be the voice of your destiny. Tell yourself, I am strong, I am wise, I am more than this moment, I am chosen for greater. Say it when you don't feel it. Say it when you don't see it. Say it until your spirit starts to rise, until your environment begins to shift, until your life starts to reflect the power you've been releasing. Because your mouth carries creative power. We don't always recognize how dangerous our own words can be, not the words spoken by others, not the things whispered behind our backs, but the words we quietly and consistently speak over ourselves. You can pray, you can dream, you can even plan, but if the language of your daily life is negative, then your words are silently undoing the very things you are asking God for. Some of us are losing battles, not because we lack the strength, not because we lack the talent, not because we lack opportunity, but because every time we open our mouths, we curse ourselves. You say, I'll never get out of this. I'll never be happy. People like me don't win. I guess this is just my life. And those words sink down into your soul until they start to sound like truth. You begin to live out of the prison your tongue has built. You start shrinking your dreams to fit the size of your words. You start adjusting your expectations because your own voice has convinced you that greatness isn't for you. Do you see how subtle it is? You don't need an enemy to defeat you if your own mouth is working against you. It's like planting weeds in your own garden. Imagine tending to the soil, watering it, making room for something beautiful to grow. But every day with your words, you throw in seeds of doubt, seeds of fear, seeds of defeat. And then months later, you wonder why all you see are weeds choking out the life of your potential. You can't plant poison and expect fruit. You can't speak death and expect life. You can't keep rehearsing your flaws and failures and then be shocked when you don't walk in victory. I've seen people who are more talented than anyone else around them, but because their self-talk is toxic, they never rise. I've seen people who had every opportunity in front of them, but because they kept saying, I'm not ready, I'm not worthy, I don't have what it takes, they missed the open door. Sometimes it's not the lack of opportunity holding you back. It's the abundance of negativity you've been feeding yourself. You've got to pay attention to the way you speak about yourself. You can't afford to laugh off statements like, I'm so stupid, I'm so unlucky, I'm always broke, nothing good happens to me. Because while you might say it casually, your soul doesn't take it casually. Your spirit doesn't take it casually. Every word you speak sinks into the soil of your heart and begins to grow. And before long, your words become your reality. You see, when you constantly speak against yourself, you rob your future of the blessing it needs. You are canceling your own prayers with the words you use. You ask for healing, but then say, I'll always be sick. You pray for a breakthrough, but then repeat, I'll never get out of this mess. You long for love, but keep saying, nobody will ever care about me. Do you see the contradiction? Your mouth is undoing the very things you've been hoping for. And it's not just about what you're saying to yourself in private. It's about the tone of your whole life, the way you speak in front of others, the way you speak about your situation, the way you describe your circumstances. It all matters because your words are containers. They carry power. They hold either poison or blessing. And if you are not intentional, you will poison your own destiny with the casual curses that slip off your tongue. But you don't have to live like that. You don't have to keep handing power to negativity. You can make a decision today to stop cursing yourself and start blessing yourself. You can start catching those negative statements before they leave your mouth. You can stop rehearsing defeat and start rehearsing victory. You can stop declaring what you don't have and start declaring what you believe is on the way. It doesn't mean your life changes overnight, but it does mean that you start changing the environment of your soul. And when your soul is nourished with blessing, your life begins to bear fruit. You have to make it personal. When you wake up in the morning, instead of saying, here we go again, another hard day, open your mouth and say, this is the day I've been given and I will rejoice in it. Instead of saying, I'll never get ahead, start saying, I'm walking into new doors. I'm stepping into increase. I am equipped for what's ahead. Instead of saying, I'm always lonely, start declaring, I am loved, I am seen, I am valued, and the right people are drawn to me. Stop cursing yourself with words of defeat and start blessing yourself with words of faith. Because what you say has the power to either chain you down or lift you up. It can either trap you in the cycle you've always known or propel you into the future you've been dreaming about. Don't let your tongue be the reason you miss your blessing. Don't let your own words keep you bound in places you were meant to leave. Choose to speak life, choose to speak faith, choose to speak blessing, because your destiny is too important for your mouth to keep working against it. There comes a time when you've got to make a decision to stop speaking what the world has labeled you. Stop repeating what your past has called you and start aligning your words with what God has already spoken over your life. Long before people knew your name, long before mistakes stained your record, long before pain shaped your perspective, there was already a word hanging over you, and that word was not defeat. That word was not brokenness. That word was not failure. That word was blessing. That word was purpose. That word was destiny. And if you are going to step into the fullness of who you are, you've got to learn how to speak in agreement with that word. Too often, we allow what we see to dictate what we say. We let the job we don't have, the relationship that ended, the sickness in our body, or the lack in our bank account control the language that comes out of our mouths. But what you see is temporary. What God has declared is eternal. So if your words are going to carry weight, they need to echo the eternal, not the temporary. You don't bless yourself by describing the mess you're in. You bless yourself by declaring the promise that's been spoken over you. That means when life says you're weak, you say, I am strong. When your circumstances say you're forgotten, you declare, I am chosen. When everything around you says it's over, you open your mouth and say, this is not the end. This is a setup for something greater. You have to get bold enough to stop repeating what your situation is screaming at you and start affirming what heaven has whispered about you. You see, alignment is powerful. If you take a key that doesn't align with the lock, the door will never open. But when the grooves match perfectly, the door swings wide. Your words work the same way. When they align with negativity, you lock yourself out of the doors that were meant for you. But when they align with blessing, with faith, with promise, the doors that seem stuck begin to open. Your alignment determines your access, and you can't afford to keep repeating the curses spoken over you by other people. Maybe someone told you that you'd never be anything. Maybe they said you were too broken, too flawed, too unworthy. Maybe they laughed at your dreams, mocked your ambition, dismissed your value. If you repeat those words, you are signing your own agreement with their curse. But the moment you say, I reject that, I affirm what God has spoken about me, I am blessed, I am favored, I am called, you break the power of their words and step into alignment with truth. Even when you don't feel it, even when it doesn't look like it, you've got to learn to speak it. Feelings will change, circumstances will shift, but the word that has been spoken over your life doesn't expire, and every time you affirm it, every time you declare it, every time you align your language with it, you are pulling that word closer into your reality. That's why you can't be silent about your blessing. That's why you can't just think it. You've got to speak it, because the sound of your own voice declaring blessing builds faith in your heart. It's not arrogance to affirm what's been spoken over you. It's obedience. It's agreement. It's saying, I trust the word more than I trust what I see. I believe the promise more than I believe the problem. I believe the blessing more than I believe the burden. That's how you train your tongue to align with destiny. That's how you shift your atmosphere. That's how you silence the lies and magnify the truth. And don't wait for the evidence before you speak it. Don't wait until you have the house to declare that you're blessed. Don't wait until you're completely healed to affirm that you are whole. Don't wait until every door opens to start saying, I am favored. Speak it in the middle of lack. Speak it in the middle of struggle. Speak it in the middle of pain. Because when you affirm what has already been declared over you, you're not reacting to your circumstances. You're prophesying to them. You're telling them, I will not let you define me. I will not let you label me. I will not let you silence me. I am going to speak blessing, because blessing is who I am. That's the power of aligning your mouth with your destiny. You stop echoing defeat and start echoing victory. You stop repeating fear and start repeating faith. You stop announcing what's wrong and start affirming what's right. And the more you do it, the more your words begin to shift your reality until what you have spoken begins to match what you see. Because when you affirm what has already been declared, you are pulling the future into your now. So if you're going to open your mouth, let it be in alignment with destiny. Speak blessing, speak favor, speak increase, speak healing, speak strength. Don't let your words betray your promise. Let your words bring your promise to life. When you understand the power of your words, you stop treating them like casual noise and start using them like intentional tools. Blessing yourself isn't something you do once in a while when you feel good or when circumstances seem favorable. Blessing yourself has to become a rhythm, a daily practice, a lifestyle. You speak it until it becomes part of you, until it seeps into your thinking, until it transforms the way you carry yourself. You speak it until your words become your world. There are some things in life that will never change until your language changes. You can't walk around every day saying, I'm tired, I'm weak, I'm broke, I'm stuck, and then expect joy, strength, provision, and breakthrough to just fall into your lap. No, your world begins to reflect the words you consistently declare. If you want to see different fruit, you've got to start planting different seeds. Every declaration you make is a seed. And just like in a garden, you don't speak it once and walk away. You water it, you nurture it. You keep saying it even when you don't see anything sprouting. That's the discipline of blessing yourself daily. And let me tell you, there will be days when it doesn't feel like it's working. There will be mornings when you wake up heavy. When your reality doesn't match what you're declaring, you'll look at your life and wonder, what's the point of speaking blessing if nothing is changing? But blessing isn't about instant results. It's about cultivating an atmosphere that shifts over time. Every day that you open your mouth and speak life, you are building something in the unseen. Every time you declare favor, strength, healing, and abundance, you are stacking bricks for the future you desire. Just because you don't see the wall yet doesn't mean the bricks aren't being laid. The enemy would love for you to grow weary in your declarations. He wants you to stop speaking blessing because he knows your consistency is dangerous. He knows that if you keep saying it, eventually you will start believing it. And once you believe it, you will start walking like it, living like it, and receiving like it. So don't give up when it feels slow. Don't silence yourself when your environment looks opposite of your words. Keep speaking, keep declaring, keep blessing yourself until your voice reshapes your reality. What you say repeatedly begins to echo in your soul. And those echoes build the soundtrack of your life. If your soundtrack is filled with curses, with defeat, with fear, then that is the rhythm you'll live by. But if your soundtrack is filled with blessing, with faith, with hope, then your life begins to dance to a different beat. That's why daily declarations matter. That's why consistency matters. Because the more you speak it, the more it becomes your normal. And once it becomes your normal, it becomes your world. Think about how powerful this is. You could live your entire life waiting for someone else to say something good about you, waiting for a friend to encourage you, waiting for a boss to recognize you, waiting for a loved one to affirm you. But if you learn to open your own mouth and bless yourself, you'll never run out of fuel. You won't be dependent on outside voices to carry you through. You'll have an internal well of blessing you can draw from every single day. You'll be able to walk into rooms where nobody claps for you and still say, I am worthy, I am chosen, I am enough. That kind of confidence only comes when you've learned how to bless yourself daily. And don't just speak blessing when the sun is shining. Speak it in the storm. Speak it in the valley. Speak it in the midnight hour, because that's when your words carry the most power. It's easy to declare you're blessed when everything is going well, but when you can look at struggle and still say, I am favored, when you can stand in the middle of pain and still say, I am healed, when you can face setbacks and still say, I am moving forward, that's when blessing becomes more than words. That's when it becomes a weapon. You've got to keep blessing yourself until your language and your life agree. Keep declaring favor until doors open. Keep declaring strength until your weakness bows. Keep declaring abundance until lack loses its grip. Keep declaring healing until wholeness shows up. And when the day comes that what you see matches what you've been saying, you'll understand that it wasn't luck. It wasn't chance, it wasn't coincidence, it was the fruit of your faith-filled words. So don't just bless yourself occasionally, don't just bless yourself when you feel like it, don't just bless yourself when things look good. Make it a daily rhythm, make it the song of your soul, make it the habit that reshapes your destiny. Because if you speak it long enough, loud enough, and consistent enough, your words will eventually become your world.